Hi, this is Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. I am the person behind this channel, and I today would like to give you my review of the Juliet top by Love Notions, a brand new release last week. It is a very nice top, as you can see. I have a certain way I like to do my pattern reviews. I do them objectively, the same categories each time, so that hopefully that will give you a more grounded knowledge of whether this pattern is for you. So with that, I'm going to cut right to the chase and tell you about this pattern. I also will let you know that since I'm an ambassador for Love Notions patterns, I was provided this pattern for free in order to be able to review it. My affiliate link is in the description below, and the opinions though expressed are mine and only mine. All right, so the Juliet top, everyone has been waiting for this top. It's a casual, comfortable top. It has 4 sleeve variations: sleeveless, short, flutter, and long. So it's got a lot of options for all seasons there. It has an optional pin tuck, placket, and pin tucking on the yoke. So there's a lot of possibilities with that yoke, which I'm going to get into in a few moments. But that's an overall view of this pattern, and it's a very free-flowing. I wouldn't say it's super flowy, but I would say that it is not fitted either. So it's a really nice fit. All right, also I wanted to let you know that I have a 10% coupon code that you can use, and that is the word cover stitch, all in capital letters. This changes quarterly, so if you're watching this later on, you might, or that code doesn't work, you might want to check out my Facebook group where I will always have the latest code posted. Wearability. So there are various fabrics you can use to make this pattern, and that is going to depend a lot on how wearable it is, I think. It's very loose, comfortable fitting, casual, although it can be dressed up as well. I made 2, and I made this one out of double brush poly, which is just, it just drapes perfectly. And the other one out of a stretch cotton gauze. So both of them were great. I'll have more on fabrics in just a little while for you, but I would say it's extremely wearable. Also, this one, you need to know, hits at high hip. So if you're looking for a tunic, you're going to need to lengthen it. Some people don't like hitting at high hip. I understand that. Some people's figures, or they're not comfortable with the weight they're in or whatever. If you feel like you need a tunic length, you're going to need to lengthen it. It's kind of a t-shirt length the way it is right now. And I kind of like it. A lot of the pants we're wearing now have higher waists, so it actually kind of looks nice with that. I'll refer you to my series I did on proportions and what looks good on people a few years ago. Sometimes what we think is best is not really best, so go ahead and listen to those, make your decision as far as whether you want to lengthen it or not. I do understand that a lot of people would probably rather have it be a tunic length, and which is totally possible. All you need to do is lengthen it. All right. As far as ease of construction, I would say this is for an advanced beginner. Some of the techniques that you'll be able to learn if you are a beginner are the pin tucks, the placket, curved seams, in other words, fitting a concave thing into a convex thing, because you have right sides together. They don't quite line up, so you have to kind of ease them in. As far as that, gathers, and also applying neck binding. So those are techniques that if you're a beginner, you might want to look at the sew along and maybe venture out and try it. I have other videos on those techniques as well, but that is a good place to start. Here is a picture, a close-up of the pin tucks and the placket, so you can see what a nice effect that is. It was kind of from the side, so they don't look even, but I assure you they are. But the way I took that picture, stood in front of the camera, I kind of turned to the side so they don't look like it there. But I really like the effect of the pin tucks I didn't do it on the other one simply because I did some embroidery. I used my embroidery machine, for which I'm a beginner at, but I was able to go ahead and embroider that piece of fabric and then cut the yoke out of it. So in the pattern, they include a piece that you go ahead and you pleat and pin tuck before you cut out the actual pattern piece. So what I did was I used that piece to put in my embroidery machine, and then I had extra fabric that I was able to make sure that I had the placement correct when I cut it out. So that's something to keep in mind if you do choose to do embroidery. The other thing I would say about my embroidery file is that I had chosen one that wouldn't have really looked well if I had done it the way it was intended to be done. It had a lot of colors in it. I wanted that natural, dark, just a little bit darker than the actual off-white gauze. So I just did it all monochrome, and I really like the effect I have. So when you're looking at embroidery files, think out of the box as far as the colors they give you. You don't have to use the colors they tell you. You can do something all monochrome, and it will have an entirely different look than what you thought would if you followed their directions. So just a tip on that. All right, just a little quick commercial here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. YouTube does use a subscriber count as to whether they push content out to more people. So it really does help me out if you go ahead and subscribe to this channel and give it, like, comment below. Anything you can do to show some activity is fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, how about sizing? So sizing on this pattern is extra small to 5X, which pretty much encompasses everyone. I tested this pattern, and I can tell you the pictures of the testers of all different sizes, everyone looked fantastic in it. So if you go to Love Notion's website, the pattern website, you will see all the various people in the various sizes, and you can see that there's really no one this doesn't look good on. Like I said, you may feel more comfortable if you want to lengthen it, depending on what you are comfortable wearing, but it looked wonderful on everyone that tested. So extra small all the way to 5X. All right, as far as materials needed other than fabric and thread, the only other thing you may need if you are going to do the placket would be buttons. And basically you can just choose whatever buttons you like. I used 1/2-inch little white buttons. In the sew along video, I actually had some pink ones laying on it, but then I ended up changing my mind before I actually sewed them on. So I apologize for that ahead of time. I just decided that the pinks didn't match as well as I thought they would. Those were pink. This is more of a coral, so I decided that the white would be better. But just go ahead and explore your button collection and find something really cute to use if you like to do that. All right, as far as fabric goes, there's a lot of fabrics you could use for this pattern. You could use double brush poly, as I have. You can use bamboo. You could use rayon spandex, although you're going to have to be careful about the weight of it. It tends to grow on you as you work with it, so just be super careful about that. As far as cotton lycra, that would also work really well. On the one you see pictured here, I used a cotton gauze that was stretchy in my stash, which turned out to be lovely, but it was like sewing Kleenex together, and it kept stretching out. It did not have any recovery. So I didn't end up with the gathered effect here that I wanted to have, that the pattern actually has in it. It ended up sort of stretching out and having less effect. I mean, it's still a nice top, but just bear in mind if you choose something like that that doesn't have a great recovery, that you want to, I could have used interfacing, but then I would have ruined the sort of sheerness of that fabric, the lightness of it. So I could have done a temporary, and I emphasize temporary because if it's a knit, you don't want to leave it there or you're not going to have any give. But I could have done a temporary stay stitch on it in order to make sure that that didn't stretch. But I would have definitely removed that stay stitch before wearing, otherwise pop, 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 pop. So just a heads up on that. All right, in summary, it's a super quick make. Neither one of these tops took me more than an afternoon. It is comfortable, very wearable. It's giftable. I mean, this is one that you need to know what their size is up here, but you could kind of gift it to someone that you didn't really know the waist and hip measurement, as long as you kind of knew about what they were. I think it was very true to size. If you've ever sewn Love Notions, it fits me the same as any other pattern that I've ever done from them. I did a large with a full bust adjustment. If you watch older videos, you'll see I was making extra larges with full bust adjustment. I have lost a lot of weight, so I am now making a large with a full bust adjustment for the past maybe 6 months or so, and it fits very well, and no problems. It fits just the same as the classic tee or any of their other patterns. All right, it's been a pleasure today. I can't wait to see you guys in a chat very soon. What I would like to do is find a day. Thursdays are no longer working for me, so I need to find another day that works for everyone. So let's start a little discussion on the Facebook group about that, or you can leave me a comment on what day works well for you. A morning might work better than an afternoon at this point, but I don't want to leave our Pacific Coast people out. So I would say maybe we should do like an after lunch thing. So let's find another day of the week that works for most of us, and then we'll resume having our weekly chats because I miss them terribly. So, all right, you guys have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for that sew along coming. I have a lot of video footage I need to edit for that, so it's going to be a couple days, but I promise you it'll be worth it. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy sewing!